A move so lethal it could end a career in seconds, and another so harrowing it could leave a superstar paralyzed for life. These are the WWE maneuvers that were so dangerous they had to be banned, and this first one is downright insane. Remember how Randy Orton retained the WWE title at WrestleMania 24 in a triple threat match against John Cena and Triple H? He got everyone down with his final move, and it wasn't an ordinary one. It's his notorious nugget knocker punt kick, a move so brutal fans winced watching it happen. But get this, Orton didn't even come up with the move on his own. He actually got the idea from Arn Anderson and just, made it his own thing. And it worked for him. After he first used it in 2007 against Shawn Michaels, it became his go-to move. Now here's where it gets crazy. Fast forward to 2009, Orton's facing Vince McMahon, and everyone's thinking it's just another match. But then, Orton goes for the punt kick, and BAM! It all goes sideways. McMahon ends up with a serious concussion. We're talking 4 concussions in one match. The crowd was shocked. And McMahon, he had to be carried out of the ring in pain. That moment was a game changer. After that, the WWE was like, nope, that's it. This move is too much. And just like that, the punt kick got banned in early 2012. But fans never forgot, and there's still hope that Orton will bust it out again when we least expect it. Number 2 on our list, the Curb Stomp. Now this one might not seem like a big deal compared to the other moves on this list, but trust us, it's got quite the history. Seth Rollins was the mastermind behind this move, and it became his signature finishing move in 2014. It was brutal, fast, and effective. Rollins made it look easy as he stumped his opponent's head into the mat. But then in 2015, Vince McMahon decided to put a stop to it. Why? Well, apparently because of its violent connotation and how easily it can be imitated by kids. Which, let's be real, it's pretty funny considering all the other dangerous moves that are still out. Anyway, Rollins had to switch up his finisher for 3 years, until finally in 2018 the Curb Stomp was unbanned, and it was like Christmas morning for WWE fans. But not everyone has been so lucky. For some superstars, their moves have been banned, and there's been no going back. Like the piledriver. A move so dangerous it could end a career in one fell swoop. WWE banned the piledriver in 2000, and initially that included Undertaker and Kane. And let's be honest, we all know why. It's a move that could literally kill someone. Until Austin got seriously injured in '97, no one had really gotten hurt by the piledriver in the WWE. The majority of times it was performed, it was done carefully and safely. But then backyard wrestling became a thing, and WWE had to put their foot down on imitators. Then there's the Canadian Destroyer, named after its inventor Petey Williams, who first used it in 2004. This move is like a reverse piledriver, and it was a hit with fans.
Oh my goodness!
So why did the WWE ban it? Well, like most banned moves, it's all about safety. During a match in 2008, Williams went for the move on Scott Steiner, but things didn't go as planned. Steiner landed awkwardly and suffered an injury that could have been much worse. And just like that, the Canadian Destroyer was banned from the WWE. But hey, at least we have plenty of footage to relive that epic moment. And speaking about epic moments, let's talk about this next move, the Power Bomb. Now you might be thinking, what? The Power Bomb? That's not even a dangerous move. But trust us, it was definitely banned for a reason. Back in '96, Kevin Nash, aka Diesel, and Scott Hall, aka Razor Ramon, teamed up in WCW and they introduced this new version of the Power Bomb. Instead of just lifting your opponent up and slamming them down, they would lift their opponent onto their shoulder, spin around, and then slam them down. But here's where it gets crazy. In '96, Sid Vicious went for this move on Brian Pillman, and he landed awkwardly on his neck and shoulders. He famously suffered a serious injury and had to retire from wrestling. And just like that, the Powerbomb was banned from WWE for nearly a decade. But of course, it eventually made its way back into the ring, and is now commonly used by many wrestlers. And while it might not be as dangerous as some other moves on this list, we can't ignore its history and why it was banned in the first place. Next up is the Shooting Star Press, a move that looks downright beautiful when executed correctly, but when done wrong, it can be pretty painful. Just ask Brock Lesnar. Back in 2002 at WrestleMania 19, Lesnar was set to face Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship. And as if the match couldn't get any more intense, Lesnar decided to add his signature move, the Shooting Star Press, into the mix. But things went terribly wrong. Lesnar underestimated the distance he needed to jump and ended up crashing head first into Angle's neck. Luckily, both men weren't seriously injured and the match continued, because that's how tough these guys are. But the Shooting Star Press was promptly banned by the WWE. However, it has made a comeback in recent years, with wrestlers like Ricochet and Will Ospreay adding it to their repertoire. But it should go without saying that, if you're not a trained professional, don't try this move at home, or anywhere else for that matter. But the number one banned move on our list has got to be the vertebrae. And trust us, if you've never seen this move, you'll understand why it's ranked number one. Shane the Hurricane Elms introduced this move in 2003, and it was a sight to behold. He would essentially flip his opponent upside down like a human pancake and then drive them headfirst into the mat. It didn't take long for WWE to bend this move, and it's not hard to see why. The vertebraker was less of a wrestling move and more of a chiropractor's nightmare. There is no way to safely execute this move, and WWE made it clear they didn't want any superstar ending up on a stretcher. But here's the thing, in a world where the unbelievable is the norm, sometimes things can go too far, and the vertebraker was definitely crossing that line. It required perfect timing and precision. But let's be real, when you can't see where your opponent's head is landing, it's not just breaking vertebra, you are breaking every safety rule in the book. So there you have it, some of the most infamous banned moves in WWE history. And while they may be forbidden in the ring, we will always have those jaw-dropping moments to look back on. And maybe wince a little. But let's just leave these moves to the pros.
Super kick! Spear!
After all, they've got enough on their hands with just their regular moveset. We don't need any more risky business in the ring.